homelessness can happen to anyone. Many people are one crisis away from instability. A medical emergency, loss of employment, rising costs of living, family tragedy, or any unexpected life event can cause someone or a family to find themselves in need. When we understand that homelessness can affect anyone, it often leads to stronger support systems and more thoughtful solutions. This awareness not only encourages compassion instead of judgment, but also helps to break down the stereotypes. We begin to recognize our shared vulnerability and responsibility to care for one another.
Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you're here tonight. If that opener hit you the way it hits us every time, that's exactly why we're here tonight. No Address is streaming on Angel, and tonight you're going to meet the team behind it. We're sitting down with producer Robert Craig, director Julia Verdin, and cast members Ashanti, Ty Pennington, and Billy Baldwin. Tonight, we're also joined by the Salvation Army's National Commander, Commissioner Merle Heatwole, who sent in a special message that connects deeply to the heart of this film. We will hear from him in a pre-recorded message throughout the conversation tonight. You can watch No Address right now on angel.com/noaddressguild. Scan the QR code on your screen or hit that button if you're tuning in on the Angel app. But first, if you have not seen the film yet, this will be your introduction. Enjoy the trailer.
Hello? Why's my stuff out here? Come on, please, let me in! You have to! I have nowhere else to go!
For many out on the streets with no address,
Hey, beautiful.
when the hope dies, it's hard to be found.
Are you okay?
Nah, I really should get going.
Are you sure you got somewhere to go?
You could try to kick me when I'm down. It ain't gonna break me.
I'm working on this huge deal, and if I pull it off, our problems will be gone.
We need to deal with these now.
No, please.
You can say what you wanna, cause I'm still here.
Have you seen him? Was that Jimmy she was looking for?
I've got a new family now, okay?
You're worthless! Get out of my house!
People who actually care about me.
I'm not giving up on you.
I'm not giving up on him!
You get these people off our streets now!
It's not that
simple.
They're human beings. Where are they meant to go?
I don't know how much longer I can do this.
This is my home.
Your gambling and incompetence is what got us here.
we've all fallen short
Get back.
and lost our way.
Look, I believe in second chances. Follow me.
You don't fight this alone. You don't fight this alone. You don't fight this alone. No.
You never know in life why things work out the way they do.
Never give up.
Now streaming exclusively on Angel.
So that's the film we're talking about tonight. And I'm so grateful to have the people who made it happen right here with us this evening. Robert Craig, Julia Verdin, Ty Pennington, Billy Baldwin, and Ashanti. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. I'm so excited to talk to you a little bit more about this film and also how you got involved in the project. Let's go ahead and start. Maybe Robert, can you tell us what it was about the story that made you feel it needed to be shared?
Yeah, you know, probably 30 or 40 years ago, to be honest with you, because I think that's when I first recognized that there were people experiencing homelessness, really kind of understood that of what's going on. And I've always had heart for doing whatever I could to help the homeless as the years have really, you know, over the last 10 to 15 years, understanding the plight that they're in and the help that they need. And, you know, my desire of wanting to make a film. And, you know, I just felt that it was time, to make a full-length feature narrative film about homelessness, and because I think more awareness needs to be out there. I mean, there are resource tools out there, but there's I think no real great movie that really kind of talks about the problems that the homeless people are going through. And, my wife and I, as I mentioned, we're very passionate. We've helped out at our church with those that are experiencing homelessness. And bumping into Julia Verdin, and she's there. I bought the option rights to the script, No Address, and that was in 2021. And I think her and the other co-writer, James Papa, started writing the script in 2021. So it's been several years in the making to really finally get it done. But my goal of producing the film is I want to do what I can to make a difference. I want to make a difference in this country, hopefully beyond, hopefully North America, and, maybe hopefully beyond that. The Lord allowed me to assemble a great team of people, a great team of actors that you see here, and production team. Just so thankful for helping us get this whole thing together. And the journey, it's so exciting, has taken us all the way to you, all the way to Angel, and we're thrilled.
We're so excited to have you on Angel. It's such a beautiful film. If you guys haven't seen it, you at home, 10 out of 10 would recommend after this live stream, go on Angel and watch it. I have a question for the rest of you, kind of hearing about why Robert wanted this story to be told. I'd love to hear about what drew you into this story and made you want to be a part of it. Ashanti, can we start with you?
Sure. I think what drew me to the film, obviously the script, and obviously just knowing the need for the exposure and creating the awareness, because homelessness is such a huge global problem. And I don't think people realize it. And I don't think people realize that you can be living your everyday life and all of a sudden, a week later, you can be homeless. And it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're a drug addict. It's not because you don't want to work. Life just happens sometimes. No one asks to be homeless. No one wants to, or no one intends to be homeless, So I think hearing that message and understanding it, it was something really different for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, I really want to be a part of this. And this is a character I've never played before. So I just wanted to, do my small part, in creating this awareness, even if it helps to change one person's life, that's meaningful for me.
I love that. Was there any, just to follow up with that, was there any moment during production, whether it was a person you met, a scene you shot, or a scene you really had to get, dive deep in emotions in, that really stayed with you?
Two things. I like to multitask. And while we were shooting, on our, I think, weekends off, I would fly to Canada and record. And I will never forget flying into, I think it was Vancouver, and on the way to the studio, we drove down the block. It looked exactly like the set. It looked like the encampment. So I was really taken aback, and I'm like, are they shooting something here? Or and I asked the driver, I'm like, is this real? Does this happen all the time? Or is it something just recently? And he's like, no, unfortunately, this street is like this all the time. It's been this way for decades. And I couldn't believe it. It really hit me and it touched me. And going to the scenes, I was just like, these are people's real lives. We all played amazing characters and everyone did such a phenomenal job, but we are artists and we're actors and we are acting. These are people's real lives that we're kind of reenacting, So for scenes for me being a drug addict, and, me getting sick and having cancer and, fighting through that, all of these struggles that people have and people deal with from day to day, they're real life. You know what I mean? So again, just everything, the whole entire project as a whole has been something so near and dear to me. And I just been really super blessed and humbled to be a part of it with these awesome people.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Billy, what drew you into this story? What made you want to be a part of it?
Well, it was the subject matter and the script, but then Robert and of course Julia, my friend for decades, and And then the cast was incredible. Beverly D'Angelo, Xander Berkeley, Ty Pennington, and of course, Ashanti. I have a wife who's a recording artist as well. And it's interesting, people sort of tend to lean towards knowing you for that. And then when you pop on screen and you're part of this powerful performance, all the many millions of Ashanti fans around the world wait till you see her work as an actor in this. It's going to, it won't surprise anybody, but super, super, super powerful. I remember just being on the set when the camera wasn't rolling and she was in character, and I felt the energy and the aura of her in character and preparing for it, and it felt so real. And another thing I love about this is it shows the different paths that can lead to it. A PTSD veteran, someone who becomes ill, someone who outgrows the foster care system, someone who's a victim of domestic violence. It's true, we live too much of this country in this economy live on the edge, check to check, week to week, month to month. And when the planets align and things don't work out, maybe not in the matter of 72 hours, but you exhaust all the possibilities. The paycheck doesn't come in for that second month, that third month. There's nowhere for you and your children to stay. You're living out of the car, and you're living in the car, and then you're living in an encampment. And I think that problem was exacerbated by COVID, and it certainly was exacerbated by the Sackler family, Purdue Pharma crisis that led to the fentanyl problem. I think the fentanyl problem and COVID has exacerbated and compounded this problem in America. And, something that I'd like to be very, very clear about, the numbers vary, but regardless if there's 2 million or 3 million people that are homeless in this country, half of them are children. It's not their fault. Yeah. Half of them, some of them are veterans. It's not their fault. Some of them are mentally ill. It's not many of them are mentally ill. It's not their fault. Some people will say something to the effect of them choosing, or the drugs or the addiction. The people that are on the street, that are street level homeless doing drugs, that are doing drinking alcohol or doing meth or now doing fentanyl more than anything, they don't have access to healthcare like we do. People on this phone have anxiety, have depression, have PTSD, some form of mental health issue, and they have a healthcare system and a doctor, and they could be prescribed medication. These people can't. They don't have the money. They don't have the resources. They don't have the healthcare. They can't see a doctor, so they're self-medicating on the street because they have a medical they have a medical healthcare crisis, and that's really at the core of the problem. When we start funding, a lot of times, especially where I live in California, they're funding sort of low harm and no harm and housing first, and we're learning that was very well intended. It's not working the way we wanted it to, and we have to get into comprehensive 360 mental health care if you want long-term answers for this.
Well, absolutely. And thank you again so much, Billy. You are such an amazing, amazing person. You did phenomenal. And I was picking up a little bit of pointers from you here and there too. I just,
It's so funny. I was from you too. I really, really was digging your vibe on the set. I'm so pleased with I don't even know the words to describe it. I've been around lots of actors, not a lot of people in your position that are globally famous, and you've got other things going on in your life, you know what I mean? And for you to bless us with the opportunity, grace us and bless us with to be on screen with us, and to loan your gifts and your talents and your name for the film and for the cause is wonderful. And I also, Mama, your mama is.
Oh, she loves you. You already know.
Yeah, momager.
Yes.
The mother
I thought
manager.
It was so precious when we all jumped on and everyone was like, "Mama."
Yeah, the fam.
Yeah, we were. Likewise, it was an honor for me to be a part of this with you. So I appreciate you allowing me to be a part of it. Thank you so much.
We were so lucky to have you, Ashanti, and I remember how fantastic you were in the freezing cold. This was not a film where anyone could look glam.
At all.
Not in Sacramento, and it was the worst winter ever in Sacramento. and my wonderful cast, Billy too, were all so brave.
Yes.
Because but at the same time, it really made us, I was freezing too. It really made us realize this is what the people experiencing homelessness have to deal with night and day. This is gnarly. We are.
That's nothing compared to Chicago and Buffalo and New York and Boston.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. So it really made you think hard on that. And to touch on something that Billy mentioned about the children on the streets and the young people on the streets. That for me was really my inspiration to write this script. Because I wrote this script as an ode to the people that didn't deserve to be on the scripts. I come from a background of social impact filmmaking. I've made a lot of films on various other social impact topics, and I'm very passionate about using film to shed a light on key social issues. And I do a lot of volunteer with foster youth. And the genesis of the project, the concept of the project came to me after hearing all the stories from foster youth that had ended up on the streets. And these were kids, and Lauren's story is actually very similar to a story that I heard. And it really just touched my heart, about like turning 18 and just ending up on the streets with nowhere to go. Jimmy's story about a young kid running away from an abusive situation. Again, not his fault. What do you do in that situation? And then I've also done a lot of volunteer work with the homeless, and I've met many veterans, good people who are kind of like struggling to survive. And we were lucky enough before we shot the film. We made the documentary piece first. And so that really enabled me to further develop the script and go a little deeper into what some of these people experience. And one of the things that I learned along the way was that there's a lot of older women. There's a huge rise on older women ending up on the streets. And that really kind of hit me hard too. And with Billy's character, Robert, one of the things that I would listen to a lot of these very polarizing discussions between people about homelessness, and those wanting to help and those going like, not in our backyard. And so with the Robert character, I wanted to show that really, we have to, as a society, open our hearts to this issue, because pretty much everybody, the average general person, is one paycheck away from ending up on the streets. So anyway, this was a film that came from my heart, and I'm so grateful that Robert got this vision and supported it, and for his passion for the homelessness, and for Ashanti and Billy and all the other wonderful cast.
Well, I'm glad that you reached out to me twice. It was early in 2022, and I passed on it because I didn't think I was ready. And then you pitched it again to me in July of 2022, and we went for it. And hey, Billy, just to let you know, I was originally, when I thought I was going to act, I was going to play the part of Robert, and it was going to be my name, so it was named after me. I'm so glad that I didn't do it. You did 10 times better, and everybody knows you.
Well, next time we do it, we got to carve out a little, a little something for you to do. Do a little like 5 or 6 episode arc for you, where you get a chance to shine on screen.
Yep.
Let's do a remake of Elmer Gantry, and you could play the Hellfire and Brimstone pastor. Fill in big boots of Burt Lancaster, but maybe.
That's right. I can do it. Give it.
Ty, I'm going to ask you a question. I'd love to know from you, what about the story drew you in and made you want to be a part of it?
Well, I mean, look, not only when you see the documentary, look, these guys are traveling around the bus and they're really finding out about homelessness in America. And I think with the documentary too, it really showed you, you really saw people that actually figured out how to make a difference. And in an equation, it takes so many different things to tackle something like homelessness. And I thought, when I heard about the fact that they were actually making a movie, and telling the story, I was like, wow, that is like, it was pretty impressive to take on. But then just to be asked to be, part of it, I was like, yeah, of course. But I thought I got really lucky in the sense that I got to play a part of someone who really does sort of help someone change the direction of their life just by giving them a chance, by, believing in them for a moment. And I think we've all had somebody in our lives that does that, you may not have your parents that believe in you, or you may not have a coach that believes in you, but somebody along the way sees something in you. And I think that's what it takes, is somebody else seeing something in you that you don't even see, that can help you turn your life around. And I think that's what really drew me to the movie as well. It's just that, to be able to be part of something that really can help change the direction of somebody's life. And it takes all of us helping somebody else to really make that happen. So yeah, I was stoked and honored that not only were they taking on such an incredible topic, but you had such incredible names attached to it.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing with us. So you mentioned that there's a documentary. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So we decided to produce a documentary on the crisis of homelessness in the country. And actually, Julia was one of the co-directors, so we're excited about that. And we did that so we could document what's going on in the country. And our mission was to find out what's working and what's not working to help the homeless. And we were across the country probably 4 weeks. We were on a tour bus. We would fly to different cities. We would drive to different cities all over the country. And actually, several of the scenes of the movie No Address, little clips, we actually insert in certain portions of the documentary because they're very fitting, because they reflect what we saw. And Americans with No Address was very helpful as a documentary, also for our actors and for our production team. It served as kind of a resource tool as we all learn to understand what they're going through.
Yeah. Wow.
It was a great additional research trip, and it really enabled us to fine tune the script a little bit, and it was an amazing experience. And I was really inspired by the courage that I saw from the people that I met dealing with homelessness and living on the streets. And one little takeaway that I'd love to share is that, one of the things that I hope that this film will do will really open people's hearts and help them to remember that when they see someone experiencing homelessness, just to smile and see them through the eyes of Christ and see that this is a human being, and to never look down on a man. I remember, Robert, so when we did the documentary, what the wonderful gentleman who runs the Bowery said to us, and we have that quote in the documentary: one should never look down on a man unless you're reaching down to give him a hand up. And I that is my little takeaway that I hope people will keep in their hearts, because what I took away was that it's a lot of shame that keeps people on the streets, and a fear to get the help because they've lost hope in themselves. And so they need somebody to see the light in them and reach down and give them a hand up and help lead them on the path to finding that hope, faith, and their way into recovery.
Oh, I love that. I feel like it's people are also very, I don't know, if you see someone and they're asking for something and you don't have something to give, I feel like the reaction is kind of just look away. And I love that perspective too, of like, even just the smile, like if that's all you can give it, because you never know how that'll impact them, right? So anyway, thank you for sharing.
a smile can change someone's day. And
I
when
love
you
that.
smile, just by the action of lifting your lower lip, it's also a signal to the head to let go of stress.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to walk around like that. I love that.
I love it.
Should smile more.
I agree. Thank you guys. Okay, can you tell us about this 50% give back commitment and what how did you decide to do that? What is it all about?
Yeah. So when I went into this to make the movie, as well as a documentary, I didn't do it to make money. My primary cause was to create resource tools for people to have a better understanding of what they can do to help people get off the streets.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, you know what? If we make a bunch of money, I'd like to give half of it back to the nonprofits.
Wow.
And that's actually what we've been doing. And so I'm going to be doing that on an annual basis. And the first distribution that we gave out was last December. I gave out it's about $127,000, and that includes some of my philanthropic efforts because I do whatever I can to help the homeless.
Yeah.
So we took that money and we distributed it to about 1,400 nonprofits that were partnering with us who believed in our program. And so we're thankful that they're walking alongside with us with the same mission statement. So the funds that actually go to Robert Craig Films from Angel Studios, I kid you not, the funds that after distributors and everybody get, their money, what Robert Craig Films gets, I take half of that and it's going to go to the nonprofits that are partnering with us.
Wow.
And I think that's important for people to know because it's not about making money.
Yeah.
It's really about helping people and building God's kingdom.
Wow.
Because God and Jesus Christ, that's a reality and it's real stuff.
Yeah.
And eternal life does exist.
Man.
And you can get there through his son, Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, I'm preaching now.
It's perfect. That's amazing that you're doing that. And for those of you at home watching the film, that's another way. We've talked about how you can get involved. Watching No Address is you getting involved. That's amazing. Thank you, Robert, for doing that, and Julia for helping tell this story. And I don't know, I just have loved hearing about both of your experiences and why you decided to tell this story and bring that to light. I know I left feeling like, oh my gosh, what can I do? Like I feel so privileged, and like it puts things into perspective. So thank you for sharing and helping me know, and those at home, how to get involved, because you leave wanting to help. So thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing. So you guys mentioned Salvation Army. I want to talk a little bit about their involvement. So this film, I think something that's really cool is that it doesn't just stop at the credits. Robert, I know you've been working alongside organizations that are, doing work on the grounds every single day. Can you tell us a little bit about Salvation Army's role in all of this?
Well, sure. When I started this film, I'm always trying to think, okay, who, for a nonprofit organization, what's the biggest one we can get that people would know and would recognize, because that's going to help the cause. It's going to help what's going on with homelessness. So I thought we need to reach out to the Salvation Army. And one of our executive producers, Robert Marvitt Jr., had some really great contacts with the national commanders. And he was able to bridge some relationships there. And over a period of several months, they were willing to get on board. And the Salvation Army saw what we were doing, and they read the script, and their legal team signed off on it and had all these legal documents to sign, to use their branding. And they were very excited to be part of it. And so we put them in the film. And it's great because to me, I mean, that's the epitome of the solution, the solution for getting out of homelessness, because that's what they provide. They provide shelter services, meals, wraparound services, and they're all over the country. They're all over North America. They are all over the world.
Okay. That's amazing. I think it's really something that's really cool as I've been listening and talking with you all today. It's just, it's a wonderful movie. I was telling Robert before we started today that first 4 minutes, I was already a mess. I was like, she's on the doorstep. I was like, oh no, this can be like the waterworks the whole time. And it was, because it is. It's there's those characters and their emotional journeys, and you kind of get sucked in with them, but also just the reality that this is a problem that real people are facing. And something that's been really special to hear is how much you guys cared for each of your, for those of you that were actors, you cared about your character and, directing and all of that. Like, you cared about the story you were telling, but also it goes beyond that. I think that's really special to hear that for all of you, it seems to go beyond this film or there's even the documentary series, and I just think that's really powerful. So I appreciate you guys being willing to share that with us all today.
I know that I already spoke earlier, but yeah, I would like to mention one thing. Just about everybody that worked on the film, actors on the production team, has probably had some experience with a family member or a friend or knows somebody that was experiencing homelessness. And I just wanted to share, just to really bring honor to her, our primary set producer, Sally Forcier, did an amazing job. She worked in development and pre-production and production and a little bit with post-production. But when we did the behind the scenes with her, and I filmed it, she actually told the story of how she lost her mother to homelessness. And it was really, it was sad, but I was glad that we were able to capture the story. And I talked to Sally recently and I said, hey, do you mind if we play the video? It's about a minute and 40 minutes, a minute, 40 seconds long, and she was extremely supportive because she's hoping that her story, might help others.
Amazing. Let's watch that now.
When I first heard about this project and Robert Craig Films, I heard about the social impact element, and the desire to produce inspirational content has been one of my goals since I've really started making features over 7 years ago. I have personally experienced homelessness within my family. I had a really difficult childhood because my mother had a lot of challenges, and she probably, in my own humble opinion, didn't get diagnosed properly with a mental disorder. And my mother was homeless for many, many years. She lived in an Airstream that was about 15 feet long for about 22 years. And there was a good part of those years I didn't know where she was, how to find her. So I personally have been impacted deeply by homelessness and the feeling of being helpless and not knowing how to help her, because she did turn to drugs and alcohol to survive her mental disorder that was undiagnosed. And my sisters and I struggled, but I was definitely impacted in a great way to have to try to care for her and do what I could for her over many, many years. But I think the worst part was losing a family member that was so important to me, my mother. So I had a hole in my heart for many years, and doing this project really helped me to heal and find a way to tell her story and help others understand how they can too survive going through that, and how to support their family members and to find strength within through relying on God and your family members that are all with you during the process.
Wow. I asked her a few questions about the Airstream because I was kind of curious. So her mom didn't have a vehicle to pull the Airstream. She always relied on somebody to pull it. She didn't have the money to rent a spot for the Airstream, so she would often park it on the street. She'd park it in a park till she got kicked out by the police. She'd park it in a shopping mall parking lot. It's just a sad story. We need to do what we hopefully our movie can make a dent in reducing that across our country.
Yeah. There was one thing that I wanted to say also with what you said, adding to what you said, Rob, just about the Salvation Army. It's really weird how God works. As I said earlier, we had a death in the family. My husband's grandma passed, and she was a huge advocate for Salvation Army, and it was in her obituary. And after the funeral, our auntie came up to me and said, Mama watched your movie, we streamed it and she loved it. And she said, oh, she did such an amazing job. And she was 92 years old. And she had just stopped driving maybe 2 years ago. So she was still like out kicking. And in her obituary, it said she was a firm believer in helping to cure homelessness, and she would never ever walk past one of those red bells without donating. So this is kind of like surreal how things are like aligning, and we're talking about this, and we literally we went through that yesterday as a family. So I'm just like, wow, this all kind of like was meant to happen, and I think in my heart I believe that this is absolutely going to make a change.
And another little fun, interesting fact in reference to Sally's story is that her mother's trailer can actually be seen on set. The silver trailer that you see in the homeless encampment was actually her mother's trailer. And we had it brought to set.
I've been doing work in that area for many, many years, since the 80s with the Cuomo family, with their organization HELP, and through the decades. And I was so thrilled to be invited and to do this with Robert and Julia and everybody. Since then, I've been doing a lot of work with Marbet, Dr. Marbet, on homelessness and addiction and fentanyl. It all trickles down from the top of the pyramid, which is mental health. And I've been learning a lot. I've been completely re-educated in this area. I'm pleased to say, and there's some programs going on with homelessness. One of the best ones is in Baltimore. There's an affiliation with Johns Hopkins, so they have faith-based and they have 12-step, but they also have Hopkins Medical on the top floor of the shelter. And their rate of recidivism is very, very low. They have like an 83% rate of success 1 year out, independent, self-sustaining, with a job. And, we have to replicate programs like that. People say when I've gone on the road sometimes with Marbet, we were at an event in Spokane, Washington for the Washington Policy Center, 1,000 people. And when we were done, it took 2 hours. We couldn't even get out of the room because people had so many questions about what currently is going on with homelessness, mental health, and addiction. And what we had talked about, a lot of the concerns were the cost, and for quote unquote comprehensive wraparound mental health support that this isn't a 30-day program. This is 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, 14 months. People say, well, that sounds awfully expensive. How are we going to pay for that? And I said, when they call 911 on a fentanyl overdose, you're paying. When they get taken to the emergency room, you're paying. When they get admitted to the hospital, you pay. When they go into the court system, the judges, the lawyers, you pay. When they get incarcerated, you pay. You go downtown, we were in Seattle, the market was in front of us, the wharf was in front of us, the original Starbucks was to the side, the Nike store was over here, with all retail. 25 people in the fentanyl fold, a 22-year-old kid overdosing, his heart stopped. They gave him Narcan, they paddled him, he was foaming at the mouth, they revived him. He was 21, 22 years old, they saved this kid's life. And I was saying, you go downtown, Department of Commerce, Department of Tourism, property values, quality of life, Small Business Administration. My point is, you're already paying too much to not do enough. You can't argue with Baltimore having an 83% success rate. What if it wasn't 83%? What if we put in these resources to get people better for 8 or 10 months, and we had a 35% success rate, and we got 35% of the children that were homeless on the street. We got their parents better and self-sufficient and independent and back on their feet, living in housing with a job, with a paycheck, paying their own bills. That's what people have to understand, is that this is America. We have the resources. We have the ability. And people think, well, that sounds like it's going to be expensive, but it's costing us more right now to not do enough. That's my point. It's costing us way more now.
Ashanti, so you play Violet in the film, and you also recorded a song for this film called Bonafide Survivor. Is that right?
Yes, that is right.
I love that so much. I think, it's everything that this film is trying to say as much as it can be in 3 minutes. And we're going to watch it together and then talk a little bit about it. So let's watch it now.
You can try to kick me when I'm down, it ain't gonna break me. And you can love me when I'm on time, it ain't gonna make me. Hey, and you can say what you wanna, cause I'm still here. I won't give you the satisfaction to see my tears, cause ain't a lot of chicks built like the way I'm built, and can't a lot of chicks deal with the way I live. Hey, so I'ma face another day with a smile on my face and say, hey, I'ma be okay. Yeah. Cause I'ma be stronger and wiser. I'm a fighter. Say I'm a bonafide survivor. I'm a bonafide survivor. Said I'ma be stronger and wiser. I'm a fighter. Said I'm a bonafide survivor. I'm a bonafide survivor. You can try to take away my drive, but I stay driven. And you could criticize my lifestyle, but I'm still living. Hey, see when your heart is hurting and you question your faith, you didn't ever think that it was gonna be this way. Cause everything that could possibly go wrong did. And how come I ain't getting out of life what I put in? Hey, you gotta find your inner strength just to face another day and say, hey, I'ma be okay. Yeah. Hey, cause I'ma be stronger and wiser. I'm a fighter. Said I'm a bonafide survivor. I'm a bonafide survivor. Said I'ma be stronger and wiser. I'm a fighter. Said I'm a bonafide survivor. I'm a bonafide survivor. Sometimes it gets so out of hand and you feel like giving up. Don't give up. Cause one door closes to open another. And if it don't happen, you gon' push a little further. We all go through pain, and pain ain't to blame. It's only a short sign of weakness leaving. Understand what don't kill you make you stronger. And you're still breathing. Cause I'll be stronger and wiser. I'm a fighter. I'm a bonafide survivor. I'm a bonafide survivor. Said I'ma be stronger and wiser. I'm a fighter. Said I'm a bonafide survivor. I'm a bonafide survivor. Cause I'ma be stronger and wiser. I'm a fighter. I'ma be a bonafide survivor. I'm a bonafide survivor. Said I'ma be stronger and wiser. I'm a fighter. Said I'm a bonafide survivor. I'm a bonafide survivor. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that song.
That was
Can you
so
tell me
that was
everything?
so awesome.
How did that song come together? What was the process like for you writing that?
You know what's so crazy? I had written the song a while ago, and I don't know. It just, I gotta give credit where credit is due. My mom was like, "Ah, you have this amazing song." You know, I have thousands of records on my laptop. And I said, "No, I don't know, Ma." And listening to the words, I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like it just they married each other. You know, you guys did a phenomenal job with the visual. It just like they were like twin flames, as we say. The record and the video, the visual, they went together so perfectly, you know. So again, I write from a place of real life experiences, and I feel like this is such a special, important piece of work, you know, no address, and it just it embodies real life, and it's forcing us to look at these problems and what can we do to fix it? What can we do to make this change? And music is so universal and it's so big, you know, that's sometimes the key. You know, when you have a platform to give back and you have a platform to say something meaningful, it is so important to do your part, you know? So I was like, oh my God, this is such an awesome opportunity. And I thank you guys so much for creating this platform so that people can see what's going on, you know, and hear it through music. So thank you.
You know, I thank you because I know how the business works, and I've been around the block a few times. And if you have $100 million studio film and you're trying to get Queen's "We Are the Champions" or AC/DC, you know, Back in Black, I know what that costs. And to get a song that was so beautiful and such a perfect fit from an international global star who was a member of the cast for a social. For a cause film, to be able to get a song that brilliant that fit that right. It wasn't like jamming a square peg into a round hole. It was a beautiful, perfect dovetail fit. And I know what it cost for those things. And I don't know what your deal was, but I know in this film, I know you pretty close to gifted it to us. So I again, Shanti, totally, you know, shout out and props to you for just yet another way in which you've contributed. You know,
so much. Yeah, thank you, Ashanti.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no, amen to that. Amen to that, Billy. I mean, the lyrics are amazing because the lyrics focus on staying driven and not giving up, and to the pain that you have in your life, and to use that, you know, to be stronger and wiser, and that's actually biblical too. And so, you know, hats off to you with that, and that just really hits home, you know, to the people that are experiencing homelessness. And the songs really kind of, I think it's an encourager, it's a motivator for them just not to give up and to keep going, you know, because there is hope out there. And this song can help people get to that point. And maybe they'll get to the Salvation Army, right? Because they do what's needed to help people get off the streets, and the hope. They provide the hope and the shelter and wraparound services. So it all kind of cohesively works together.
Organically and authentically, and that's the beautiful part. Again, thank you guys all so much.
Yeah. Ashanti, I don't know if you know, my wife had a song, I think it went up on the credit sequence, right? Was it, which one did we wind up using? Yes. My King?
Oh.
I'm blanking. I'm not sure.
I knew I was going to ask one question. What's the title of her song? I'll remember it.
I'm the one that should know. But there was, she made this great album years ago with her girlfriend Vaughn, and they wound up remixing a song that they did together, and they used it, I think, in the title sequence. But it was so cool that you did it, and China threw a song on there as well.
Awesome.
I love that.
Family. It's making a family thing.
Oh, I love that
it is,
so much.
Family is also an important theme of this film, with that kind of like the concept of finding your family, you know, wherever you are, and hope. And one of the things that was really important to me to show in this film was all the good work that the church groups do in this space. Because I heard so many stories of people saying that you know, where the people that like reached out a hand to them were people of faith from the church, and faith is a very important theme in this film, and that, like, not giving up and all the rest of that, because
chosen family. I mean, a lot of times people in that situation with mental health issues and which can lead to addiction problems, they exhaust possibilities with their friends and family, and then you wind up having your chosen family. Sometimes that chosen family could be through faith-related services, or it could be in a shelter or in an encampment. Your chosen family, your chosen homeless family that's experiencing homelessness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. The name of China's song in the movie was called, wait for it, Lost and Found.
Wow, that's awesome.
I love that. I love that. Man.
If we're about done, I do have one final point that I would like to mention.
I love that.
Whether we all know it or not, we're actually being the hands and feet of Jesus Christ, and we often hear that. I need to read a couple of verses from the Bible. It'll take less than a minute. It's Matthew chapter 25, verses 35 through 40. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Then the righteous will answer him, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger or invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and go to visit you? Then Jesus said to them, truly I tell you, whatever you did for them, you did for me.
Yeah. Live by the teachings. By the teachings. This problem would be gone pretty quickly.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Robert.
Yes, thank you. And that's what this whole thing's about. And if you guys at home are watching this and you feel called to act, here's what you can do with it. Supported by another message from Commissioner Heatwole. Let's roll that clip.
For those who feel overwhelmed by the homelessness crisis and want to help, but don't know where to start, I would encourage them to start local and start simple. Supporting organizations like the Salvation Army, who are already serving in your community, volunteering with them is one of the most effective ways to help. That could mean donating, mentoring, serving a meal, or simply learning more about the challenges and realities people experiencing homelessness face. I would also encourage individuals to not let the size of the problem discourage them from helping. Real change happens one relationship, one family, and one community at a time. Every act of compassion creates a ripple effect far beyond what we may ever see. Thank you so much, and thank you for all those that were responsible for creating this film and just making a real impact on telling the story of homelessness.
Well, thank you so much, Robert, Julia, Ty, Billy, Ashanti. I'm so grateful you were all able and willing to join us tonight. And thank you for all of the heart that you put into this film and for sharing that with us. And thank you to the Salvation Army and to Sally for the impact that they've had, not only for the film, but for the mission behind it. We are so grateful for you all. And for those of you at home, if you've not seen No Address, it is streaming right now on Angel. If tonight stirred something in you, or if you have someone that you feel needs to hear this story, see this film, please share it with them. You can watch it right now at angel.com/noaddressguild. Thank you so much again, everyone, for joining us tonight. We are so appreciative. We hope you have a wonderful evening. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for watching No Address. You might be wondering, what now? What can I do to help be part of the solution?
Yeah, it's a common feeling, but don't worry, we've got some ideas for you. We want you to join our efforts to help break the no address cycle and really make a difference.
Head over to noaddressmovie.com for a list of our nonprofit partners working tirelessly to end homelessness across America.
Look up a local organization near you, see what they need.
You can volunteer, donate items, or contribute financially.
Let's all make a commitment to understand local policies. Real change starts with knowing what's happening in your own community.
At the end of the day, the reason we made this movie is to create a movement together, to help people have more empathy and to see the human side of homelessness, and to do something to end this crisis.
Take the time to say hello. Make eye contact with someone experiencing homelessness. It really can make a difference. So often they feel invisible.
We can be the solution. Let's work together to break the no address cycle.